Welcome back to the vlog. It's been a while. I started out by saying I was going to do these weekly. Whole long story, but my camera broke earlier this year. It took me a really long time to get it fixed, but we are back. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Paul Sparks. I teach spirituality in a practical, modern, down-to-earth way, helping people really connect to who they are, what their values are, and how to get the most out of life. A lot has happened. I went to Dubai, I can't remember if I told you that, to see my friends who have moved there, which was so nice. And I've done quite a bit of travelling. So I was also in Manchester, seeing some friends. I was in London, I went to see Harry Styles. My friends took me to see him and that was amazing. Work has been really busy in terms of both jobs. So I've got a full-time job that I do and that's changed quite significantly in the last few months. So lots of learning, lots of new people. And then from a coaching perspective, things have definitely moved forward as well. So lots of new clients, lots of new ideas. I have something up my sleeve. So I've a few things actually that have been planned in terms of face-to-face events. First one, I cannot wait to tell you more about it, but it starts on the 14th of August. So I'll share more when I've got a bit of detail about that, but I'm very excited. I'd say in general just now, personally, I have been just having a lot of fun, spending a lot of time with friends. As I say, doing a bit of travelling. I've got another couple of trips planned. I'm going to Dublin next week. And I think I'm also in the process of, I'm going to post this, doing something where I'm trying to challenge myself to leave my comfort zone. So I think that sometimes we get really rigid. I don't know about you, but really rigid with I like this, I don't like this. I've tried something once, I say I hate it. And I wanted to challenge myself that for 7 days, I would do something every day that I say that I hate. So one example would be I say I hate group exercise and I don't like running. I made myself go to a running club and I wasn't amazing, to be fair, right? Couldn't finish the 6K, but I enjoyed it. And I met new people and I pushed myself out my comfort zone and it was good. Really interesting is that I'm getting new people from different platforms. So I'm finding a lot of new clients coming through just now from TikTok. So I'm spending a bit more time on there. I did my first live the other day and wow, people are savage in the comments. But I'm enjoying that. Still creating Instagram content, which is going really well. And want to just get back to these because I feel like this is a way for me to just share a little bit more about me and things that are going on. So hopefully you like the vlog. I also get a lot of questions personally about skincare, especially with men, right? Or just people asking what I use on my skin, which is kind of bizarre to me. But I feel like if I wasn't a spiritual coach, I could moonlight as a skincare specialist because I really love it. So I thought I would just share a random selection of things I've been loving. Let me know if you get them, but I've tried every product and I'm a big believer in not spending your money on things that don't actually work. I've tried and tested so many things. I, like probably most people, have been using the Medicube pore pads. They're amazing. I got them when I was in Dubai and I only use them maybe 3 times a week. But yeah, let me show you some of the things that I've been using. So the first thing is a bit bougie, I'm going to tell you, is my moisturiser that I've been using recently. So I like skincare from all different price points. I think you can get really good drugstore stuff. I think you can get middle of the road, which tends to be where I am. But I did splash out on this, which is the Augustina's Bader, am I saying that right? The cream. And it's this unbelievable moisturiser that it kind of changes to what your face needs. So if it's dry, it helps that. If it's oily, it helps that. I have to say, I don't know if I would repurchase it because it was pretty expensive, but it is great. So, and I would, if you can afford it, I would recommend it because it is good. Second thing for me personally is that for men, I don't like makeup on me. I don't want to wear foundation. I'm not that kind of guy. I just don't want to look overly made up. And so I've tried over the last few years so many skin tints. So just to give your face a little bit more of a polished effect and take away some of the redness and stuff. And I have discovered what I think is the holy grail. This is the Chanel Water Fresh Tint, right? So I've actually got it on just now, so it doesn't look like makeup. You just put a thin layer over your skincare and it just gives you that kind of almost filtered look. So I've actually got a couple of guys that I know to buy this and they went and got it. Really big fan. Again, kind of expensive, but that will last. So massive fan. I feel like this is now something I'm going to use all the time. And the last thing that I've been loving is not skincare, but I keep talking about it to anybody who will listen. Start with yourself. I have been reading this book by Emma Grede. It is so inspiring, such a manual for anybody sort of building a personal brand or early on in their building of their career, I guess, right? Or just try to balance everything in life. I cannot recommend this enough. I'm only halfway through it because I keep starting it again. I've probably read the first half of it 6 times. And I would say it's a real mixture of her life story. So Emma Grede is the woman who really came from quite a difficult background in London. She now owns Skims and other companies, and her skill is really like helping you build a brand, helping to take like an idea and really skyrocket it, right? But the book is all about her life story. It's all about sort of business and tips about how to build your brand. But thirdly, it's really deep with mindset and how you should think and things that she's learned along the way. So there's a real spiritual element to it. She's gritty, she's controversial. I'm a big fan. So if you're looking for a new book to read, cannot recommend enough. Read and start with yourself. One of the other things I thought was interesting to talk about is that I got my first troll comment on TikTok. And that doesn't bother me because I anticipate that with what I do, I still think with spirituality, you are going to have questions and people don't really understand what you're doing. And also, like, it's a really big lesson that whatever you're doing in life, and if you're being your most authentic self, that some people are going to like it, some people are not. But I thought that the question that the person asked, which they've since deleted incidentally, was actually quite a good one, right? Which was to say, if you're a spiritual person or a spiritual teacher, I guess, should you be talking about skincare? Should you be talking about your own life and putting yourself out there? Or should you just be doing the deep work in private? Good question. I would say that I do a lot of deep work. So there's a lot of stuff in my own spiritual journey that I don't share online. So I have weekly classes with my teacher. I talk to her one-to-one. I'm absolutely working on myself all the time. I think naturally we're looking at our blind spots. We're seeing where things could be better. But I also think coupling that with me getting to know my audience and you getting to know me. And I think I, as you know, turn 40 next year, and it's taken me probably till now, or certainly up to this point, to be the most comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's ultimately what we all want, right? So I think, you know, even for me, there's so many different aspects to my personality that I want to show. I love skincare, right? I love going for a pint with the boys. I love going to the gym, right? But I also love trying the Rhode lip products, right? Like, I'm somebody who's probably taken me a long time to balance out just all those factors of who I am. And I feel like sharing that with you does not take away from my spiritual work, right? I also think that the type of spirituality that I've learned, I guess it depends what you're learning, has always been based on the fact that you should be able to enjoy everything in life, right? Some spiritual teachings tell you that the physical world is bad, you shouldn't enjoy material things. I don't really buy into that because we were born into a material world. So I think that you can enjoy a glass of wine and shop at M&S food and go nice holidays and do all of those things, as long as you have perspective. If you believe those things are the source of your happiness and your joy and your light, problematic, right? But if you can enjoy those things in the world and you are spiritually conscious of, am I growing? Am I overcoming my ego? How do I treat other people? How do I address difficult situations? How do I apologise when I don't want to? Like, for me, that's what makes a spiritual person. So you can be a spiritual person and still use Augustina's Bader skincare, right? And I think it's, for me, showing you that all aspects of who you are fine and that you can still be a spiritual person. So that's my take on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, life is just life and things are good. Seeing lots of my friends, building as usual. But I'm not going to commit to weekly on these vlogs anymore because I did not do well with that. But if there's anything you want to hear about, any questions, let me know. And I'll do these as regularly as possible.